As you guys can see, I'm wearing my Kwanzaa shirt. Yeah. Guys, that's my life.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in the ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business, you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump. Gimme. Push. Step, crush.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're not new to my channel, hey, and welcome back to the mess. As you guys can tell by the title, I want to talk about the wonderful holiday of Kwanzaa. Let's first talk about what is Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a 7-day long holiday created by Dr. Karenga in 1966. Dr. Karenga was a professor of Africana Studies at California State University. He wanted African Americans to have a sense of pride of where they come from, and this was shortly after the Watts riots of 1965. Even though Kwanzaa was created by an African American, it is technically a Pan-African holiday. Pan-African meaning that it can be observed by all black people within the African diaspora, including African Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, Africans, Afro-Europeans, Afro-Latinos, Afro-Canadians, etc. Kwanzaa is observed throughout the entire African diaspora. I actually learned about Kwanzaa through an Afro-Caribbean. Kwanzaa lasts from December 26th all the way to January 1st. Kwanzaa is a Swahili word meaning first fruits, and it represents a harvest which is very popular throughout Africa. So throughout the 7 days of Kwanzaa, you recognize the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. The 7 principles of Kwanzaa in Swahili are called Ngozi Saba, and those are the 7 principles that we go by each day of Kwanzaa. Those 7 principles include Umoja, which represents unity, Kujijakalia, which is self-determination, Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility, Ujama, which is cooperative economics, Kumba, which is creativity, Nia, which is purpose, and Imani, which is faith. And each day of Kwanzaa represents one of those 7 principles. So every day of Kwanzaa, when you wake up and you see your family or your friends or whoever, the first thing that you want to say is Habari Gani. And Habari Gani translates to what's the news in Swahili. And in response, that family member or that friend is going to tell you the principle of that day. So if it's the first day of Kwanzaa, the principle that we go by is Umoja, which is unity. And if I walk up to you and I say Habari Gani, you will respond with Umoja. Then you're going to ask me Habari Gani, and then I'm going to say Umoja, you know? So it's kind of like a call and response type thing. Call and responses are very prominent throughout black culture. So each day you're going to take your kinara. The kinara looks like this. You're going to light a candle on the kinara each day. I think you can light them either during the day or at night. It's really up to you. I think my family, we light ours at night. And you're going to light a candle on the kinara, and then that candle is going to signify the principle for that day. I usually would have my candles, but I think last year I probably used them all. So I gotta buy new candles for this year. So this is the kinara. This is what you put your candles in, and this is what you light your candles on. And each day you light a candle, which signifies the principle of that day. On the 31st, you're gonna hold this thing called the karamu, or the karamu. I don't know how you pronounce it. Don't butcher me. But the karamu is pretty much like a large party or gathering that you have with your family and friends. It's like a feast, you know. You cook a bunch of food, have a big dinner, and you just pretty much signify what your purpose is of that day. Then on the 1st, which is also the last day of Kwanzaa, that is the day that you get your gifts, and you give your gifts to your family and your friends. I do want to go through and talk about the 7 principles really quickly because they are very important. Umoja represents unity, which I think is a very important day because unity is a very important aspect that we as black people need to have, and I think that unity within the African diaspora is something that we need to start practicing. Kujijakalia, it's self-determination. It's pretty much how you define yourself. It's also like a great day to kind of figure out what you're determined to do in life and what do you want to do in life. Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility, and it's pretty much just kind of building a community. Let's all work together as black people, and it's our responsibility to keep the black community as structured as possible. Ujama, which means cooperative economics, and that's definitely a day where you want to support black-owned businesses, black people using our money and putting back into the black community and keeping the black dollar for black people, you know what I mean? Nia, which means purpose. What's my purpose in life? What am I here on this earth to do? And how can I fulfill my purpose on this earth? Kumba, and Kumba is a really fun day. I think it's probably my favorite because I'm a very creative person, and Kumba means creativity. That's definitely a day to tap into your creative side. You can write poetry, you can sing, dance, and just kind of express yourself through the arts or through some type of creative outlet. Imani, and that means faith. Having faith in the black community, having faith in yourself, faith in God if you're a believer. And it's just a very important day, and it's a great way to not only end Kwanzaa but start the new year. Kwanzaa is a very popular holiday, especially for African Americans, but again, it can be observed by all black people throughout the diaspora. Popular black shows like Everybody Hates Chris, The Proud Family have done episodes on Kwanzaa. I watched the episode that The Proud Family did on Kwanzaa, and it was a really good episode. I suggest that you all watch it, especially if you're trying to get a feel for Kwanzaa and what it's about.
Umoja stands for unity in the family and community. Why don't y'all show me some Umoja and leave my house unified?
Oscar?
Then you say something about an ancestor or family member and how they contributed to the spirit of unity. Drink and pass the cup.
Habari Gani?
Umoja.
Here's to Percy Proud, the only man I've ever loved, without whom this family would not be together today.
To celebrate Kwanzaa, you don't really have to buy a lot of things, so if you're worried about breaking your bank account, you don't have to worry about that. The most that you'll need to buy for Kwanzaa is your kinara, candles for the kinara. There's 7 candles, obviously, and it's 3 red, 3 green, and 1 black. Pretty much the colors of the Pan-African flag, because this is a Pan-African holiday. You also want to buy gifts for the 1st of January for Imani. You also want to buy food for the Karamu. If you want to buy decorations, you can. You don't have to. I'll show you decorations that I made in the past when I was celebrating Kwanzaa. And then you also want to buy a unity cup. Unless you already have them, you can also buy and wear West African garments such as dashikis in order to feel more connected to your West African ancestors. I wear dashikis all throughout Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is not like Christmas where you have to go out and buy a big tree and lights and decorations and a wreath and a boatload of presents. It's not expensive like that. Some cities do have certain celebrations for Kwanzaa. I know that my city, Nashville, we have this organization called Kwanzaa Nashville, and they pretty much have events for the entire week of Kwanzaa in Nashville that I go to. We didn't go last year because it was all virtual due to COVID, but the years before they had events for all black people to go to celebrate Kwanzaa, and I really suggest that, especially if you don't have anybody to celebrate it with. It's like a really nice family, and I really like it. I think Kwanzaa is really important for all black people to celebrate because I remember when everybody was finding out about Juneteenth, a lot of black people who didn't already know about Juneteenth showed up and showed out for Juneteenth, which is amazing. However, let's keep that same energy for other black holidays like Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is not like Juneteenth, where Juneteenth is a holiday specifically for African Americans. Kwanzaa is a holiday that can be observed by all black people throughout the African diaspora because it is a Pan-African holiday. It was just created by an African American, but still. Kwanzaa is also not a religious holiday. It is a cultural holiday. It is a holiday specifically meant for black people across the African diaspora to honor and recognize our African heritage and ancestors. And also, if you are a black person in Africa or from Africa, you can still take part and celebrate Kwanzaa if you would like to. If you ask me personally, I think everybody who is black should celebrate Kwanzaa. It is a wonderful holiday. I do not celebrate Christmas because I don't feel the need to. I honestly have not celebrated Christmas like a traditional Christmas where I put up a Christmas tree and decorated and did the whole shebang since I was in 4th grade. So I suggest anybody and everybody who is black across the African diaspora should definitely celebrate Kwanzaa and give it a chance. Even if you're not 100% familiar with it or you've never celebrated it before, I definitely suggest that you celebrate it. I started celebrating Kwanzaa when I was 18. I'm 20. So I'm still new to this too, but it's an amazing, incredible holiday, and I think that all of you guys who are black should definitely celebrate it. Again, you do not have to be just African American. This is for all black people within the African diaspora. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found this video to be informative. Please give this video a big fat thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.